Entrepreneurship. My grandfather is an entrepreneur, my father is an entrepreneur, and I'm an entrepreneur. I used to be an entrepreneur, I still am an entrepreneur, and I will always be an entrepreneur. And why is that? Because I like money. And my best friend said, when you have no money, you have no honey. Honey, baby. So no honey. And the second reason is, well, I got the curse of 1. So if Wirzal had a GPA of 4.0, my GPA is 1 point something. So nobody want to hire me. So I need to be an entrepreneur. So that's what it means to be an entrepreneur. What is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is somebody who's willing to take a risk for some profit. And by taking that risk, I'm gaining something out of it. Be it in value, be it in trust, be it in relationship, be it in profit. Whatever it is, I gain something from it. And entrepreneurs runs in the blood. So I hope in these sessions I can talk to you. Some of you might be an entrepreneur right now. Some of you want to be an entrepreneur. Some of you might have a friend that's an entrepreneur. And let me share you my story. So I work in the mall. So this is a blessing for millennials like me, work in the mall. So if somebody called, hey bro, where are you at? Well, I'm at the mall. What do you think? Well, my job is going from mall to mall, from mall to mall. So any millennials want to work for me, so go ahead. And I do need some complacent workers. So rising stars do not apply. I need complacent workers. So this is my story. I went to this mall. Early in my career, I went to this mall. Since I'm working in department stores, I know a lot of sales girls. So some of you guys single, don't look for me after this. I don't keep their number anymore. I know they're pretty, but please keep in mind you have a wife. So, so I work in malls, and the sales girls that I usually come and see in the department stores. And you know, in every department stores nowadays, their profits, their sales are all down, correct? So these sales girls come to me one day and say, hey, sir, do you have an opening in your brand? I say, no, why? Well, I've been working here diligently, loyally to my company, she said. But one day, I was contacted by my supervisors, and then he scolded me. Imagine that, a beautiful girl like this, working 8 hours a day, standing up with only 2 15-minute breaks, being scolded by her supervisor just because she didn't make any sales. So I saw that, and I listened to her, and I was wondering, what kind of person scold somebody who works so hard for them? And I imagine being her, working 8 hours a day, standing up, and being scolded just because you didn't make a sale. It's not her fault. It's just nobody comes to the mall anymore except for millennials, and the only place where you can see a lot of millennials is just a place to eat. Department stores are dying. So she was scolded, and she was sulking. So she was down. And I cannot imagine being an entrepreneur and stepping on others. Entrepreneur sees employees as cost. They see customers as profit. So I'm Chinese. I like profits, but I also like people. I know people are human, right? And I don't see my employees as cost. I see them as human. I don't see my customers as potential profits, but I see them as human. And humans want to be appreciated. Humans want to be acknowledged. Humans want to be respected. No matter who you are, no matter what positions you are, everybody wants that. So this is my experience. And I see that a lot. I see a lot of supervisors yelling, literally, in the department stores just because somebody doesn't make a sale, doesn't get their target. And for me, that's so dehumanizing. They step on others so just they can get something out of it. So for me, that's dehumanizing. So I worked with my father, and I experienced something different from him. Most entrepreneurs that I see, most entrepreneurs that I know, are operating from not abundance, but scarcity. So they work just as if they're just gonna make some profit. And they all hate the word 13. Why? Because there's the 13th salary for their workers. So it's superstitious. And they hate the word for. What? For money. They hate it so much, so they hate their employees when they're not making for money. So this is what I experienced. And I say, I work with my father, and my father gave me a lesson. So this is another thing about father. This lesson I got is when my father is debating with my father-in-law. And the first rule of being a son-in-law is when your father and your father-in-law is debating, you stay out of it. Just stay out of it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. But they were debating as, well, when you become an entrepreneur, when you become a businessman, who are you? You're a leader, right? My father-in-law had this thing say, when you are a leader, you need to be at the very top. You need to be the strongest. You need to be the best in whatever you do. You need to be like a bamboo that when you grow, you need to be the highest one in the forest. And then my father said, wait a minute. In my opinion, he said, and just imagine this, my father-in-law and my father debating. I'm just at the background. I said, okay, whatever you say is right according to you. So I agree. My father said, wait a minute. Well, a bamboo doesn't grow by themselves. They doesn't grow by themselves. They grow in groups. So a bamboo grows when they're growing in the forest. They groom their surroundings. So the bamboo grows as a pack, as a group. So even though there's one bamboo that's the very highest, but it's surrounded by other high trees, high bamboos. So the lesson that my father taught me is when you become an entrepreneur, you make sure you grow your people so that everybody grows together. And when the storm comes, you're not by yourself, you're not the highest, and you brace your storms together. So what my father said is humanize and treat your employees just like you want to be treated. So treat them as a people, as a human being who wants to be respected, who wants to be acknowledged for what they do, even though maybe they're not doing it very well. But you can teach them. You can empower them. You can give them the chance and the trust to become the best that can be. And it's like, good job, Dad. Oh, good job, father-in-law. So they're both right, according to them. So this is what I learned. This is the lesson of my father. So I'm pretty blessed that my father gave me a lot of lessons in entrepreneurship. So what is it? We are all human. Humans want to be trusted. They want to be acknowledged. They want to be treated fairly. They want to be treated as human. Human with feeling, emotions, with thinking. Humans that speak, humans that do. And how are you going to treat humans? The best way you treat humans is the best thing that I can say right now. Treat others as you want to be treated. Isn't that the golden rule? Treat others as you want to be treated. You want to be treated right, treat your other people right. Even though maybe, hey, they're your employees, they're your customers, but they are still human. And treating humans comes from a mindset that whatever you do, you are still human. At the end of the day, you are still human. Unless some of you here are aliens, I don't know. But if you are, I'm sure Area 51 is looking for you, so give them a call. We are still humans at the end of the day. So treat others as you want to be treated. And by abundant collaborations, we know and we learn that we can do more as a group, as a team, than just by doing it yourself. So we're all human. So you can say to your next door neighbor, say, you're human, I'm human. So let's do something together, especially when you are an entrepreneur, you humanize others.